everybody, and welcome to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. I'm your host tonight. That's right. I'm James Young, comedian extraordinaire. We're your nightcap of comedy. That's right. Late night with y'all, man. We get you through that work day. That's right, man. Get you going through that thing because you're working for the man right now. I am joined in virtual studio with some really good friends of mine, some comedy brothers. That's right. First off, we're going to start with the man who helped start all this hilarity over 8 years ago. I'm talking about Mr. Miguel Colon Jr., brother. What's going on today?
What's up, guys, man? Doing good. Look, yesterday's episode started with me talking about some Game of Thrones stuff, uh, some dong scenes, but now I want to go on to I just saw an episode of DuckTales
Yeah.
and they were getting free. No, I'm just
Okay.
No.
no. Please.
You kill me. I
want-
love Launchpad. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
there you go, bro.
Hey,
Hey,
you know why Launchpad McQuack is the only character on DuckTales to wear pants?
I don't know.
Because if he didn't, you would see those giant brass balls of his hanging
right.
down.
That's right.
My
I
man
forgot.
survives a plane crash every time he gets in a plane and gets in a plane.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Launchpad McQuack.
Launchpad was the original pilot for Spirit Airlines.
Oh yeah, Launchpad McQuack, yo. He left and started Frontier. He's like, hey, Mr. McDuck, let me get a loan. I don't want to fly planes in Malaysia.
Ta-da.
I designed the doors for Boeing. You know?
And we are joined in studio with a good friend of ours. He's not only the official sponsor of our show, but he's also a fellow comedian and a comic book creator who is going to Comic-Con soon. I want y'all to give it up for Jeff Batman Kaufman in the building from Kaufman and Lynn, who have been representing and winning for the good people of Orlando for the last 20 years, man. Jeff, what's going on, brother?
In 2 weeks, man. 2 weeks we head off.
Yeah, you do.
Half the team heads off to Comic-Con. Half of them never been before. Had to explain to them what it's going to be like. You know, they're not prepared. They're not prepared.
It was funny because we were explaining to Bridget. Now, if you guys listen to this show, you've been out to the actual All for the Money event, and our next one is going down July 18th. Don't forget to go to whenyouneedus.com/events and get those tickets. But you guys know little Bridget, the little Asian girl that works for Jeff. Now, she's never been to Comic-Con, so she was asking us questions, Miguel, about what can I expect? So you should have seen her little face as we were just hitting her with all the different things that she's going to come across. Like we explained, like Pokemon. So she's all excited about that. We explained about there's people cosplaying. They're going to be dressing up and, you know, they're going to look like Disney princesses. They're going to look like the guy from Halo, the video games, like everything. And then we had to explain that they've in recent years had to start putting up warning signs for some of the people at these cons, and the warning signs, Miguel, are cosplay does not mean consent. And she was just baffled by, well, why would you have to tell that?
Oh, we just
to
lost
people?
America,
Well,
I guess. We just lost America.
America.
Hi, guys.
What do you mean? If she didn't want me to hug her, she wouldn't dress like that. That's what you're telling me. Yeah, they had to do that about 5 years ago.
So she's gonna run around
Is
like
that right?
Princess
a
Jasmine?
little longer than that.
I'm dressed
Little
like
longer than
Jafar.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that you guys
let me
can
explain. So if you got a Princess Jasmine costume on and I got a Jafar costume on, I'm staying in character. All right, I can show you the world, or I could no.
Oh my God.
Go find Aladdin. Go find Aladdin.
Listen, this stuff gets rough. It does get rough though, because
Gotcha.
yeah, you know, there's such it's a weird thing because half my people, you know, can't speak to a girl.
They
And
get
the other
nervous.
half are
They
running
get
around
very-
with cameras trying to get
The other half are
material
girls.
for later on.
Bro, oh my God. Yeah. The guy, you could always tell when we go to MegaCon, the guys who are a little bit more excited than others when it comes to, you know, all the things you can see. We'll say that, man.
I mean, I've had booth models at my booth, so I could tell the difference between the two. You know, there's just, you know, people get a little squirrely, but they get squirrely everywhere. You know, it's not limited to that, but you know, I've had cosplayers in my books. For those who don't know what a cosplayer is, that's just somebody who dresses up like their favorite characters and show
from
up
video games, anime, or comic books,
or comic books or movies, you name it.
Yes.
So, and I love it. I love when people get into it, and you know, they take hundreds of pictures a day. So for that moment, they're important.
Yes, and there's rules to approach them. You don't just
No, you
grab
just
them by
don't.
the arm. You don't just take a picture. You ask kindly.
Some
Do you
people do,
mind?
though. Some people reach out
I
and try to
know.
grab them. Hey, can I get a picture?
I
And they're like,
know.
oh,
No, no,
dude,
no, no. You
dude,
can't.
don't
No.
grab me.
Don't grab. Yeah, don't do that. Don't get on. Don't become the guy on the news because you will be on the news. They got
Yeah.
rules now. They definitely do. So
I
congratulations on
lick,
you
I
getting to do
lick
that.
my thumb and I move that hair out of their face.
Oh wow. Okay, that's what they like. You're right, Miguel. You're
Yeah, bro.
absolutely right. Thanks, guys. That's
I do it to the
what-
dudes. What's
what
up,
it is.
Batman? Sorry to hear about your parents, Bruce. Looks like you need a new daddy.
No, Zaddy.
But I'm doing
Oh,
something
my
cool for them too. After the event, I'm taking them to Vegas for a couple days.
You
'Cause they're
taking a
gonna-
crew to Vegas?
Yeah, they're going to be working hard.
Nice.
Well,
They are
you
gonna
got to
work.
realize, people think, oh, it's fun. I said, you're at that booth from 8 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
and for 5 days, and it's hard, man. And
and you're
packing
moving.
up, getting in and out of there.
Mhm.
And I always leave the last night because they don't realize 1 million people show up. And it's not like MegaCon where it's the whole city of Orlando. Everything that's happening is in every hotel right next across the street from the convention center.
Mhm.
So that whole area has 500,000 people living in it
Yeah.
for, a couple days.
And,
So
and
it's
whereas
just a sea of people.
yeah, and whereas MegaCon is mostly for Central Florida,
Right.
Comic Con is for everybody around the country
Yeah.
comes there,
And there's no tickets.
converging.
They sell those tickets out, and there's no bartering. There's no selling them. You
They're
can't
done.
transfer them. And if
No.
you get caught transferring them, you get banned for life.
Yeah,
I mean, it is
You're done.
serious.
you're done.
know.
That's it. But it's gonna be fun though. I mean, you get to see some secrets that Marvel will reveal. Disney will be there revealing stuff as well. So man, it's a good time. It's a nerd fest, man.
It
It's
gets
on my
loud.
bucket list.
It gets loud because what
Yes, it does.
happens is they have a place called Hall H, and that's where all the big areas are. So they bring like 4,000 people in there. So
Mhm.
Marvel will have a stage, and they'll get up and they'll bring in the actors and everything else, and and big movies do the same, and Disney and everybody.
Let me ask you a question, Jeff, real quick while we're on this. Is there anybody that you haven't met that you would get actually excited to meet at this point in your career? Like, man, I really want to meet this person.
God, I wish I could tell you the truth. I don't. I met Stan Lee. For me in
Okay.
comic books, that was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. The
And
godfather
athletes,
of
I've met
comics.
I used to be a sports agent, so athletes don't do it for me. And I
Mhm.
met a lot of celebrities through Comic Con conventions, and
Yes, you have.
it's hard because don't meet your heroes.
Heroes. I've heard
Because
that.
if they're not good people, man,
gonna destroy you.
it'll crush your heart because you'll be sitting there talking to this person, or you love the show and they're just jerk offs.
And I know you can't say the name, but have you had that experience? Like you're like, oh no,
Yeah.
you're a jerk. Oh
Yeah.
no. Ugh.
Yeah, where they just sit there and they look at you and they don't have anybody around them and they're just being crappy.
Gotcha.
Or you'll be sitting at a table with like 8 people and you're just supposed to be chilling, relaxing, but you could tell the ones who want attention. They're upset that enough people aren't looking at them.
Mhm.
They're complaining, they're griping and everything. Oh, not enough people are buying my stuff. And I want to
Mhm.
go, well, that's because you're giving off this thing.
This vibe.
Yeah,
Now, have
you
you
know.
met has it gone the other way for you where you met a celebrity? You're like, man, was that person so nice? I really like them.
Yeah. A lot of the women actors tend to be really nice. But then
Okay.
again, like Anthony Michael Hall from who did 16 Candles and
Oh, he did
Breakfast Club.
he did everything in the 80s.
This
Yeah.
dude is the nicest guy on the planet.
Really?
Yeah. While Molly Ringwald, not so much.
I keep hearing that about Molly Ringwald, dude. Are you for
Yeah.
real?
Yeah.
You're hurting my childhood when you say
She
that.
dogged my daughter one time. And
Wow.
my daughter, God, was such a huge fan of hers.
Mhm.
And it's so weird because it's 30 years out, and for some
Yeah.
reason she connected with those John Hughes movies, and she
They're
loved
wonderful.
them. And
Mhm.
I've never paid for signatures before.
Mhm.
Never did it. I don't want
But
to go
you-
online. I don't want to do the 5 hours or whatever it
Got
takes.
it.
And I said, for you, I'm going to do this. So I take Julia and I get Molly
Okay.
Ringwald, and I realize Anthony Michael Hall's there too. So I said, all right, let's do both of them. And I go into her line, and there's nobody in the line. It's not like
Mhm.
they're trying to fast through the line. Nobody's there.
Mhm.
And she treats Julia like crap. I mean, Julia goes, what was your favorite movie? What was your favorite movie? And
Wow.
just like completely dismisses her. And I could see Julia was so broken
Hurt
by it.
by
And
it.
then I pop into Anthony Michael Hall's line real quick, and he is just so nice,
engaging, talking to everybody.
She was the only one there, and he was so nice. And what's funny is I had met him 4 years ago in Philadelphia, and I didn't think he'd remember me because we see a bunch of things, and we were in a bar, and it was a great moment. And he looks over at me, goes, and just loses it, and I'm laughing. He goes, and I can tell you the story. We were sitting there in a bar in Philly, and I'm sitting there talking with my buddies, and I feel somebody sit down to my left, and it's Anthony Michael Hall and this really good-looking woman. And we had been drinking a little, and I leaned over to him. I go, escort or model? And he goes, model. I'm like, cool. And he turns back, and then he turns back.
Wait a minute.
And he just turns back and starts laughing because it took him a second. And the joke came out fast. At first, I think he didn't hear it, but he was dying.
That's a Miguel line. That's
funny. Now I look dead at him. I'm like, what's up, Lisa?
But he was so nice about it. And 4 years, I think it was 6 years later when I brought Julia to him, he leaned over, he was looking at her, he did everything, and he looks over and he starts laughing. And he goes, oh my God. He goes, you're the comic book writer. I go, yeah. He goes, you know how many times I've told that story, man? And I was going without saying it. Yeah, I'm sure.
Your daughter's like, what is he talking about? That nothing.
But Ferrigno was nice to me too. I mean, Lou Ferrigno, we've been friends for years, but Lou was really nice. The first time I met Lou, I made a bad joke to him, and he couldn't hear me, and because he didn't have his colloquial implant yet. And and the sad thing is when he doesn't hear,
I thought that was the joke. I was like,
no. At first, you don't know whether he's mad about the joke or he just didn't hear it. Either way, it's scary.
Is because you explain how big he is in person. Like
he is, his hand. If he puts his hand on your forehead, you can feel his fingers on the back of your head.
Jesus,
yeah, he's come up to me, and I felt that if he puts his hand on your shoulder, you know exactly who it is.
Yeah. What'd you say, Miguel?
Thank God he just put it on your forehead.
It would have reached wherever he wanted to touch. It would have been.
Oh my God! I'm hitting bottom. I'm just.
Yeah. He took my ability to make babies away. I'm gone now. When I finish, all you hear is.
When I talk about a weird moment, we were sharing a booth in San Diego, which is the Super Bowl. There's millions of people. He goes, "Let's go have some dinner," and I go, "We're not walking. There's no way you and I are going to get to wherever we're getting to with you." He goes, "Oh, I'm good at this," and he's plowing through people. And by the time people realize it's him, we're already 20, 30 people. And we go into the restaurant, and they go, "Do you have a reservation?" And Lou looks at the guy. It just stares at him. He goes, "I have a table for you, Mr. Ferrigno."
That's funny. I like that. He demoed him, Miguel. That's how he got in.
Yeah.
I'm Lou Ferrigno.
He's like, "Do you have a reservation?"
He just looked at him. He goes, "I don't look familiar." Like, there's only one Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Are you lucky? You lucky that dude wasn't under 30 years old. He'd be like, "Do you have a reservation?" He's like, "I'm Lou Ferrigno. I'm the Hulk." You ain't Mark Ruffalo. Hey, this dude.
It's a couple of years ago. I don't.
Yeah, you ain't Mark Ruffalo.
Hey, this dude think he Edward Norton.
Yeah.
You ain't Ed Norton. Ed Norton got cookout pass.
I think I saw this guy on The Apprentice.
Hey, we got to go to break, Miguel, but that reminds me, man. Imagine being Edward Norton watching Marvel go by. Imagine watching it turn into what it is now and be like, damn, man.
How many millions is that?
Hey, at least he ain't on Joe Rogan talking about 1 + 1 is red.
That's true.
Oh, no.
Another dude that just watched Marvel go
by.
Hey, man. Hey, y'all, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right here on Real Radio 104.1. Last right here on Real Radio 104.1. I'm in virtual studio with some good friends of mine, Jeff Batman Kaufman, as well as Miguel Colon Jr., and I'm your host, Mr. James John. I want to remind you guys, if you're not following us on social media, do us a favor and do yourself one too. Go to Instagram, go to Facebook, and now you can go to YouTube, and you can actually subscribe, like, comment, share all this hilarity so we can keep it going for another 8 years. Now, before we went to break, we were talking about the fact that Mr. Jeff Kaufman, not only is he a lawyer and a comedian, but he's also a comic book creator, is getting ready to go to the Super Bowl of all comic book conventions. He is going out to Comic-Con out there in San Diego. And we're talking about the fact that we're talking about a couple of things that led to us talking about Marvel movies and Edward Norton. And I was just making the point, imagine being Edward Norton watching Marvel become this huge entity and just making money, handing out checks left and right, and you missed all of that because supposedly you had a badass attitude. Imagine how salty
it has to be heartbreaking, and not because you're not the guy anymore, but just the amount of money
you missed out on.
I mean, you're talking 10 mil a movie easy. You know, by the time you're done, I mean, what do you think Ruffalo picked up?
Let's find that out. Let's find.
I bet he's made probably at least between 30 and 50 off those movies.
I would say that's conservative. Mark Ruffalo,
$35 million.
Oof.
That's what he made.
I don't think Norton has made 35 in his whole career.
Bro, imagine going to a Hollywood party and everybody's all around. Robert Downey Jr.'s there, you know, Mark Ruffalo, you know, all the actors, and they're like, "Hey, Norton, how you doing, man? Oh, it's great to see you. What you been up to, player?"
Hey, you know, just chilling. Hey, real quick. Hey, boss, let me take the trash out in a minute. I'm talking to my homies.
Man. And the sad thing is he probably is one of the best actors in the last 50 years. Easy.
He's a great actor, but I hear he's hard to work with.
Man, you just have to ask yourself, you know, does he care? I mean, did you see the roast he did for Bruce Willis?
No.
Oh, you didn't see the Comedy Central roasted Bruce Willis?
I don't remember that one. I mean,
I don't remember. I know it happened.
You got when you want a master class on how good somebody can do, look at Ed Norton's roast. Mm-hmm. Look how great Ed Norton was when he roasted Bruce Willis. He does like a 20-minute monologue. And and you're stuck. He is so good.
Damn, okay, so he did a good job on it, man.
Oh yeah, that was a hell of a roast too. And all of them were good. Mm-hmm. But they were brutal, but Ed Norton's abusive. But now I forgot the actor who Don Cheadle took over for.
Oh God.
Hustle and Flow.
Of course.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Dang it.
Yeah. Ooh, Terrence Howard did just, I guess he wants us to talk about him, and that's why we're talking about him now, because we're not talking about his great acting. We're talking about that he potentially went full Kanye on the world, but he thinks he went Kanye
with the science world. He turned into like a Batman villain. He's like, "Hey man, I figured out how to make a ray that makes people forget time." You're like, "What, player? Forget time? Imagine if you wasn't thinking about time no more. How the world would go into disarray." I can still get you in a movie, dog. Like, bro,
we have places already that exist like that, where if you go inside, you forget what time it is. They're called strip clubs. We got those, player.
And casinos.
And casinos. Yeah, you don't know what time it is when you go in there, man. You come out like, who's president?
It seems so weird though that, and here's the thing, that what bothered me most is he did it on Joe Rogan's show, and every reel I'm getting for Joe Rogan's show now is just weird alien stuff. It's all like, oh, Mars did this, oh, this one, and he's sitting there like nodding his head. I'm like, dude, are you the new Jerry Springer of this stuff?
No. And here's what I say about Joe Rogan. Here's why I like Joe Rogan. I believe I'm going to say this right. He will interview anyone, even if he doesn't personally believe what they're saying. He just wants to be like, okay, this is going to be entertaining. Let's talk. Let's see. Like that, Alex Jones has gone on there. I don't think he agrees with Alex Jones, but I think.
Well, that's a good interview. That's a solid interview.
That's what I'm talking about, though. He's like, bro. Sometimes
like, Alex, I don't believe in what you're saying, but I found this gay frog. Ribbit. Ribbit. Why are you lying about Sandy Hook? Ribbit.
And that's what I think an interview. I like that. Not everybody should be it. Let me take
let me make clear. I've interviewed some controversial people.
Yeah,
I have no problem with it.
We did. Bro, we did, and we got lambasted in our early careers. Remember that, Mikkel?
Yeah.
We've done it. Yeah, we've done it, man.
I mean, but what I'm saying is I'm listening to this stuff where he just goes into it. He'll talk about this weird guy who might have worked at Roswell and go off for like 3 hours. And I'm like, going, man, you have a lot of. How long is his podcast every day?
It could be 4 hours long.
Yeah.
It could be 4.5 hours. Yeah.
But he is still undisputedly
Get paid.
number one when it comes to podcasts, man. Just it's whew. But here's the crazy part about Joe Rogan. He got millions from that show. But don't Joe Rogan got like 4 jobs, y'all?
UFC,
comedian, that.
Joe Rogan's comedy is good, but that wasn't his bread and butter.
That's not his bread and butter.
We were never like, but he likes it. He's good at it.
He's good at it.
But it wasn't. He was never like Joe Rogan was never like the comic that was. He was club comic, big clubs though, and stuff like that.
Big clubs,
I never even seen him spill into like big arenas, but he was good. It just he wasn't. I don't know if he didn't have the fan base for comedy that he has for his podcast, But I will say he definitely changed the podcast game.
Oh my God.
Rogan, man, and he changed the comedy game with the mothership. That whole vibe and that club out there brought back. I mean, maybe when I say change, I don't mean he changed as much as he brought back something really important with comedy, a place where it was just like every day you could do comedy in front of audiences who want to see comedy. And, this club matters in your career.
And people don't
realize he will roundhouse kick your brains out.
Yeah, he will. People don't realize what you're saying, Miguel, because there's clubs out there that exist and only do comedy on the weekend. That's something new that's happened in the last 10, 15 years. Comedy used to be in a club Monday through Sunday. It was the same guy would be there and they would sell those shows out. Comedy was an all week thing for a very long time. And it's just now become in my cult, I would say in my generation, where it's only on Friday and Saturday, sometimes on a Sunday. Yeah, man. So he brought that back. You can go to the Austin right now. There's comedy every day of the week, and it's packed, and people are paying to get in. So
just comedy shows
shout out to him
in the afternoon.
That's
3 o'clock in the afternoon is at a club.
That's crazy.
Like, hey, Darnell Rollins is performing 3 o'clock in the afternoon at this club,
and it's sold out.
Sold out. He's got a show at 3. He's got a show at 5. He's got a show at 8, and he's got a show at 10.
Jesus. Crazy.
And you like, I might get that 10 o'clock show. Dude, when I was out there I was out there last year, I was hanging out. Mark Gagnon was out there, and he was like, hey, I can get you if you want to come meet Schultz and go see Andrew Schultz. He's like, I get you tickets at the early show. He's like, that's probably the easiest one. Early show was at 4 o'clock in the afternoon to see Andrew Schultz.
Oh my God.
Andrew Schultz. You know where else you can see Andrew Schultz? In an arena in Dubai.
Yeah.
Honest to God, in an arena in Dubai, you could see Andrew Schultz. Or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you catch him at a 350-seater club, man.
How do you do comedy in Dubai?
I mean, I mean, when I watched his special, he acknowledged so much. Like there was no elephant in the room. He started talking about how Dubai had got this great new library. It's like the biggest library in the world. And he's like, oh my God, it's the most amazing library. Ladies, you have to take my word for it. And that's
wow. That's funny.
Yeah. And funny, he just acknowledged so much that I was like, wow, man.
But that's Andrew Schultz, right?
And that's what people want, man. Nobody comes to see you and they're like, you better not bring up that thing about us that the world talks about. That's like also my thought on right after COVID, there was a big school of thought on comedy. Let's not talk about COVID. So many people have so many negative memories. We cannot not address the thing that changed all our lives. There's no way, I believe, after World War II, there weren't guys, you got to figure, because this is how I always think about World War II and I think about COVID and things like this where everyone was affected. You're a comic after World War II. You were also a GI. You were also a sailor, probably yourself. Yes. So how do you not relate with the audience?
We didn't have comedy. We didn't have comedy like we have it now.
We had lots of comedy, bro. I listened to comedy from the 40s.
You want to talk that Letty Bruce was basically the guy who kicked open the door and got arrested for saying stuff he shouldn't have said. But there was a lot of clean comics. You couldn't say F-bombs.
Oh, Jeff, where you're wrong on that is, no. Listen, mobbed up joints, comedy was a big deal. So was stripping and burlesque. And that was all New York, Chicago. You got this idea of what comedy was, but sit there and talk to Joe Galagos. James will tell you. Yeah. Joe would tell you about how comedy was back then. There was a lot of it out there. It just wasn't, you weren't getting records. They weren't pressing a record of somebody who wasn't clean cut for the things. But club-wise, clubs always wanted a little raunchy, a little dirty. They would be segregated clubs and would have black acts over there because they wanted everything. But yeah, dude, there was a lot of it. It just it wasn't pressed into records, and it's not held up forever in eternity. But oh my God, that's one thing that was great about
it.
Well, I'm talking about guys. I'm not talking records. I'm talking guys getting arrested on stage.
Yeah,
you had guys who got arrested on stage for saying stuff.
There was a lot of it too. But the thing is, comedy has been comedy.
Yes, I agree. I definitely agree.
I think the military. I think the military had a certain amount of respect back in those days.
I think what you're saying, Jeff, you're talking about USO tours, and they were a certain.
Well, no, I'm talking like Lenny Bruce got arrested in a lot of places, man.
Yeah, because what he was doing was the comedy that normally was done in back rooms and like Miguel saying in mob joints and whatnot, that was reserved for those kind of places. He was doing them in mainstream clubs. He was breaking the norm.
Because the Chitlin Belt
circuit,
Belt comedy, the Chitlin Belt circuit, man. God, everything on the table, everything being said, everything done, and there were white comics that did the Chitlin circuit too.
They sure did.
There were Jewish comics, man. It was it was a big raw scene. It was jazz and comedy and rocking out. Oh man, it was great.
Definitely was. All right, guys, let me just run this by you really quick. Let everybody know there's a great show happening in the Melbourne area, and it's definitely for a good cause. It's for the good people over at the South Brevard Sharing Center. They support individuals and their families. They provide them with basic needs and services such as food, clothing, and get them what they need. And they got a benefit show that's happening on July 19th, Friday, guys. Tickets are $25, or if you're a Moose member at the Moose Lodge, you get them for only $20. It'll be a comedy show with me, Mr. James John. I'll be there with Mr. 407 Kevin Dean, Chris Alexander, and Marvin Izzy. You guys can get those tickets right now. Just go to my social media. You can definitely get it. And once again, this is benefiting the great people who do great work over there at the South Brevard Sharing Center. Guys, I don't want y'all to go anywhere. We got a couple minutes before I leave here, but I was going to say something to you. My son, and I want to talk about this when we get back. My son, Devin's about to head into something that he has no idea what he signed up for. His girl is taking this wine class for the next 3 months in California, so she'll be away. But no, that ain't the crazy part. When she returns,
it ain't nothing but a good
time. When she returns, she is not going back home with mom. She's officially moving in with Devin in Baltimore.
It was nothing but a good time. Now it's all over.
Oh, my son's having his very first roommate. Okay. Well, after college.
It ain't no roommate when they sleep in bed with you.
Yeah, let's call it that.
You married.
Yeah, because you married.
You married.
Bro.
Marriage is the word we give to, but the truth is, when you're sharing a domicile. And now you have equal votes on each other's life, man. I mean, because you have to be equal. You have to be equul. Yeah.
We'll talk about. I'm glad you say that. Yeah.
Please bring that back after the break. Equal.
That's right. Guys, don't go anywhere when we get back. We're talking about my son having his girlfriend move into his house. And that is a difference, though. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right here on Real Laughs, Real Radio 104.1. You are still listening to Real Labs on Real Radio 104.1. I'm your host tonight, still Mr. James John, joining virtual studio with Jeff Batman Kaufman and Miguel Colon Jr. Now, we were talking about this before we went to break. My son, Devin Michael, great kid, graduated from college, moved to Baltimore, got his own place. It's really nice. It's really swanky. And now he's about to change everything. That's right. He's heading into a new, unfamiliar territory because he is having his girlfriend, his longtime girlfriend from college. He's having her move in with him, and he has no idea what this means. He's bright-eyed, he's bushy-tailed, and he's like, Dad, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be nothing's gonna change, Dad.
I'm gonna get it whatever I want. It's gonna be great.
Oh man, it's gonna be nothing but rainbows and sunshine.
Yeah, Jeff. Oh. Yeah. She's gonna be so horned up that my shoes are laying around everywhere.
And I'm honey, I got all my sink space. Weird crap in the shower.
Bro,
you lose basically 2/3.
She's gonna learn about a meal I like to call
storage
bacon
space.
soup.
There's one bathroom. I'm just gonna lay that out there for you guys, fellas. If you've never lived with a woman,
No, there's not. There's
No,
her
there isn't.
bathroom.
Yep,
Yes.
there you go, Miguel. There you
He's
go.
gonna have a bucket on the balcony.
Oh, guys, women, most women that I meet are very neat. They keep a tidy place, but when it comes to their bathroom, it looks like the Gaza Strip.
They have stuff.
Because
Bro.
here's what it is. Here's what
They
it
got
is.
stuff.
Imagine having to. This is where my defense comes to the woman in the bathroom. I hate it,
Talk about
but
it.
this is my
Talk
defense.
about it.
Imagine needing a tackle box worth of stuff that you have to put on before you leave the house. Because we're like, yo, where's that shirt? Where's that shirt I'm going to go out in today? There it is hanging, you know. And then we do stuff like, you know, like before we go out. I like to, like, if I'm going to wear a collared shirt or something like that, I like to iron it because I hate when collars are like from out the dryer and stuff like that.
When they come out crazy,
Yeah, so I'm going to wait 7 minutes before we have to leave. Whip out my iron, turn it on, get that collar ready, and then I'm like, hey, babe, you ready to go? And she's got a tackle box worth of supplies, and she's like, do you want me to have eyelashes? And I'm like, I really do want you to have eyelashes. Well, that's going to cost 10 minutes. You know, do you want this?
10.
Do you want this? So it's like,
yeah, that's
it's,
funny.
You know,
I know exactly how long
but
it takes for me to get out of bed till I'm at work. I know the exact time.
Yeah.
I'm like going to the radio station. I'm like 30 minutes.
That's us.
Office, 30 minutes.
That's us. Yeah.
They 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
That's if they do everything.
And you can't. And here's the thing.
Knock it though.
When you can't knock it if you love it. Like if you're
That's
like,
right.
man, look how beautiful she looks right now.
There you
Okay,
go.
baby. I had to straighten my hair, put eyelashes on, put makeup on. I was retaining water today, so I put on this Spanx thing for you, and
Yep.
blah, blah, blah. So
We've
you
been there.
can't be like, look how good you look. Why does it take you so long to look this good? And I'm like, hey, these drawers smell clean. Yeah, I'm good. You know,
And it gets different. it gets different when you live with your woman. There's some things you got to share, like a web browser. That's different. Think about
White sharing anything.
Yeah. What you mean? Wait, Jeff, you can't go into it like that, man. I'm not.
My
sharing
iPad
anything.
is always like within arm lengths of me at all times.
You don't even let it go, do you? You have it on you right now.
See, I've had long-term relationships. That's my thing. I'm not. Hey, hit it and quit it. No, I basically hit it and I'm stuck with it. You know, that's my relationship.
That is romantic. There you go, buddy. That's how you woo them, Jeff.
I don't have short-term relationships, and
you're all in it. I will say that.
I could all in. You go into the bathroom in the shower, and there's just stuff. I mean, there's like 9 shampoos.
Product. They call it
9 shampoos. Now I'm talking in the shower. Not that have nothing to do with. I'm just talking 9 different versions of shampoo. Oh, what's this one for? Oh, this is when I get my hair done. This is when I do this. This is this time of the week. There's like 9 I got one shampoo.
I got it all in one. I got it all in one.
Yeah, like Pro. It does.
Bro, guys will buy shampoo at the dollar store.
I got a shampoo that also cleans out your fuel lines. I got it at Aldi. In that row that Aldi has stuff where like a truck showed up, they robbed it, and they're like, hey, you came here for pickles. What's up, man? You interested in some machine gun parts? What's up, Aldi's?
Bro, I got bathroom wipes that are made by Armor All. Like I know the stuff I use is questionable.
Here's okay. So as a guy, if you're a good grown-ass man, you don't live like an animal. No, but you probably still live a little more functional than decorative and all these other things.
Yeah, we're not high end.
Yeah. So you got stuff that you got to realize that you got to explain to your girl, and then you've got to compromise. Because now here's where I will say this. Living with a woman will increase your lifespan by so much. It will. Jeff, you just got crazy girls. But living with a woman will, because when you live with a woman, she's gonna be like, it's 7 a.m, baby. Don't eat so much bacon.
Yeah, that is true.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You're not making a bacon sandwich at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm hungry.
Crazy.
Eat an apple. Like I don't want a goddamn apple. And 20 minutes later, you're like, these are the juiciest apples. Where did you get these apples? You know,
these apples are great.
It's called a store. That's
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a steak. It's 3:30 in the morning. And I'm hungry. I want a steak before I go to sleep. Eat some grapes and cheese. Baby, I'm hungry. I'm not gonna be. Next thing you know, you're like, yo, that cheese and grapes. That's how the French do it. Yo, nah, man, she will. She'll be like, you're coughing. Take the cough syrup.
I've
And
been
I'm
there.
like,
I've been there.
And then she'll call you out on stuff. She'll just be like, hey,
Yeah.
baby, come here. Why your feet look so ashy? What's going on with your circulation? You're like, it's fine.
No.
It's fine. No, it's not, baby. I know it's not fine. I'm stepping on your foot right now. You can't feel it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Bro, you are so right.
They will go to your doctor's appointments with you though.
They
Yes,
will make
will.
sure
Yeah.
you are not an idiot. They are
'Cause we
like
are.
an NCO. Jeff, they're your NCO. They're like, I cannot trust that you're going to go to that doctor's office and find, and they're not worried. And then the thing is, when they're good, they're not worried. They're not like, well, oh my God, what do you mean? You're borderline diabetic. No, they're like, okay,
This is what we're doing. Yes.
this is what we're doing.
This
This is what we're doing. And then
Yep.
you're just sitting there like nodding, like, okay, because I'm really scared right now. Not gonna lie.
Yep.
And I'm kind of alone, feeling like a good woman will keep you alive longer.
Amen.
And when you get good at being in a relationship, you guys respect each other's crazy, but you respect it without allowing it. Because
Yes.
you're gonna be like, she might come home, she's talking about Donna from work and going off on it. You like about to make that coffee she likes and sit her down and let her know she's being a bitch. Okay, baby. Real talk though. Real
Hey,
talk, baby. What?
Real talk.
Donna ain't that bad. I know, but listen.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, y'all cuddled on the couch watching Netflix, and you like, I know
James,
it's
when
4
have you
a.m.
ever told that to Michelle? Hey, you know that person you complain about? They're actually a good person.
So,
James
I
has
have.
talked you down the ledge. I know this relationship.
Yes.
And you got to figure out how it works with your girl.
Not because I'm the man. It's
No.
because after that long of being together, I have learned there's certain things that she needs to get out, and then we can have a conversation.
Right.
You gotta let them get it out.
And they know your things. They
like, know my
watch,
things.
Watch
yes.
this dumbass try to build that. He can't build that.
Yes.
But I'm going to let him try to build that. And then in 30 minutes, I'm going to be like, my brother knows a guy who builds stuff.
That's correct.
And I'm gonna be like, yo, I know I don't need to call your brother. And then when we get back from the hospital and they reattach my thumb, I'm gonna be like, hey, is your brother still up? Hey, what's up, Hector?
And I will admit, she's talking me off of the ledge more than I've ever had to do it for her. I mean, I say this for a reason. I got a good woman. And Miguel's absolutely right. Will make you go to the doctor because we're stubborn. They will make you eat better because we're Neanderthals when it comes to diet. They will put you on workout programs so they prolong your life so you can be around for your grandkids. A good woman is good for you. But I just want my son to know everything's gonna be different now. You have to share groceries now. You have to share so much that you got to watch TV shows together now.
When you're done with that cup, you need to wash it now because it's two people's houses.
Yes.
And then here's the thing. Let's say you're the person who leaves cups and dishes in the sink. You live on your own and you like, I wash them at the end of the night. That's my thing.
That's my thing.
If that isn't how she likes it, you're actually annoying your partner. Yeah. And then she's going to wash the dishes. Like, I hate leaving dishes in the sink. And you being a dumb dude, you like, hell yeah. Now I don't got to wash those dishes. No player. You're building up tension. It's coming back. It's always going to come back on a car trip back from something good.
Oh, yes. yes. And you think everything's cool. You're like, man, all right, having a good time. And then she's like, huh. You're like, baby, what's wrong?
Can we talk?
Oh, man. Oh, my. Oh. Can we talk?
There's something I've been meaning to ask you. That's the one.
Yeah.
Now I'm the person I go, nope.
Oh, no. The best one is this. Look, I'm not trying to start a fight. Yes, you are.
Like Keanu Reeves on the range. Picking up all the
that when you hear that, run.
Yes. Yo, it's like the Matrix. How do you fight an agent? You don't. Every now and then you'll get her with one. Dodge this. You know?
Oh my God. So it's going down. My son, he's gonna have his girlfriend move in with him. I just want to say, good girl. Good for him. I wish.
Tell him this. Can I give him?
Yeah, go ahead. Hit him with it. Go ahead,
Young
man.
Buck, remember 2 things. You're an idiot. You're an idiot if you want to die on hills that you shouldn't die on, especially if those hills lead to you being a better person. Second thing, don't give up anything you love just to make her happy.
That's right.
She should want you to love the things you love.
That is also
pick
true.
it, man. Pick it.
Yeah.
If you love watching football on Sunday and that's a big part of your thing, and while y'all were dating, you would watch football on Sunday, sure, there might be a compromise, bro. You might be watching on an iPad in your bedroom so that she can do stuff in the living room too. But that's fine. But also, don't die on a hill that doesn't matter just because you want to be stubborn. This is a you know what I'm saying? This is a relationship. This is an organization. You guys are a team. You're a team. You want her to live with you because you want her to live with you because you want the team to spend more time together, whatever, money. It's a team.
Yep.
Don't.
Whose idea was this team up?
Hers.
I'm pretty sure it was her. Well, isn't it always theirs?
No. A lot of times when it's the dudes is always dumb.
Oh, you here anyway. Just come on.
Yeah. He just needs he's gonna have a blast with her. Everybody does it. He's gonna be good. But he just needs to make sure, the boy just needs to make sure he realizes that he asked somebody to live with him, not so they could live his life, so that y'all can live a life together.
That is a great statement, Miguel.
That's the thing, man. Yeah.
That's how you do that, man.
Look at Kaufman's eyes. Kaufman's like, I'll tell that bitch right now. Bacon, burnt black. You live in my house, you touch one of my damn G.I. Joes, I'll throw you on the street. Kaufman's watching Diddy, and he's like, nobody knows what she said, though. Nobody knows what she said.
Stop it. Oh my God.
I'm just saying, nobody knows what she said.
It was a misunderstanding.
Yeah. That's a really nice hotel.
On that note, man, there's a lot to get to as far as what's going on this week. I want to remind you guys, first off, this has to do with all of us on the show. Don't forget, All for the Money on July 18th. That is a Thursday. This time the theme is America. If you guys want to get free tickets to an interactive comedy show where you can win over $2,000 in cash and prizes and see a brand new comedy set from Ken Miller, Miguel Colon Jr., myself, and Jeff Kaufman, you guys need to go to whenyouneedus.com/events. Get your free tickets right now. I guarantee you come once, you're going to keep coming back. And I believe that with all my heart. Go ahead, Jeff.
Now, Miguel just wants to know where we can get that suit because he looks good.
He does a good net
suit. I have a flat stomach. They put me in that. Look at that, man.
Look at that.
I'm like, I fought alongside them. I just don't think we need to free them.
Also, this week coming up, guys, in Tropical Paradise. Don't forget about this as well. Friday nights are about to get hotter in the summer. Starting on July 12th, they got some of the best comedians from around the country performing. And from 7 to 9, for only $20, they're doing a open bar. People, this is nuts. Only $20, 7 to 9. It's an open bar. Good drinks with good comedy. And it doesn't start after that because starting at 10 o'clock, it's going to be old school R&B hip hop all night long until they close. And they're also going to be doing another open bar for $20. Man, there's a lot going on Friday. 2 great events on one great night. Where are you going to be this weekend, Jeff? What do you got going on?
I'm taking my team to 2 different concerts and just taking care of my people over the weekend.
You always do. And don't forget, you can hear me and Jeff every Saturday on Real Radio 104.1 with Under Oath with Jeff Kaufman. Appreciate that. And if you guys are in the Boca Raton area, please check me out this Friday and Saturday at Sad Man Comedy Cafe. That's right. 2 chances to see me perform, guys. I hope you come out there. I hope you come and have a good time with me. I ain't been down south in a minute, so be glad to see some of you folks there. On behalf of myself, Mr. Jeff Batman Kaufman, and Miguel Colon Jr., thank you guys for listening. We'll see you tomorrow. Jeff, tell them what to do.
Take your ass to bed.
We out.